Hope you're doing well and keeping safe in these times. So I'm Sagar and I run an engineering services company called Knox Innovations, which is based out of Mumbai. And today I'm happy to just share some quick insights as to how dark kitchens can unlock the value of IoT and automation. Uh, so IoT, automation, bots, these are big, intimidating words sometimes, right? And if I ask you to just quickly visualize an image that you associate with kitchen automation, you'd probably come back and describe an image of some super high-tech robotic arm with conveyor belts preparing your food, right? And it's because of such stereotypes that automation as a whole has got this notion of being super complex and extremely capital intensive, which kind of makes us averse to it as soon as we hear about it. So before diving into this topic, I just want to clarify one thing right off the bat, that automation does not necessarily always equal to robotics, right? Robotics might be a subset of automation, but the way we look at automation is simply that anything that can make our life easier. And over the course of this presentation, I'll share some insights and best practices from our experience for cloud kitchen operators to consider when they're developing and deploying automated solutions. So, I've broken this process in very 4 simple steps, which you can see on the left-hand side. And I'll conclude with a case study of a real-world example of what we've done with Rebel Foods over the past few years. So the first important thing, and it's just to resonate with what everyone's been talking in the previous sessions, is to understand that your kitchen is unique, your operations are unique. So it's important that you define your problem statement, right? Why are you looking for automation? Is consistency an issue? Is it quality? Are you looking for specific ops-related data? And it's very likely that this will be a combination of things, right? So it's important that you prioritize these problems and then benchmark them against tangible metrics that you can measure going forward. So I suggest that be as specific as you can, because if you set off on this journey without clarity, you will probably just end up with another widget in your kitchen that doesn't really add any value, right? The next is design for constraints, right? And conceptualize your design based on these constraints. A fun way of how we look at this is kind of looking a scale from jugaad to robotics, and really introspecting and determining where your proposed solution fits on this scale, right? It has to fit within your operational framework. And just to clarify, by a jugaad solution, I'm not referring to something that's hacked up, but it's just a more or a relatively more low-tech solution, something that's more semi-autonomous, but that's designed just to be as durable and effective to solve the desired problem. And obviously then there are several factors to consider when determining this, right? For example, a kitchen or a dark kitchen company operating a few outlets in a single city will have a completely different budget and infrastructure compared to someone who operates hundreds of kitchens globally. So, for the same exact problem, the solution might be vastly different. Next is develop viable solutions, right? It's important to develop solutions that assist operators and not necessarily replace them. And this is, again, extremely relevant in the Indian context, right? Because if you ever try and do the math of replacing man hours with machines, it almost never works out, right? So instead, what we urge our partners is to introduce bots to actually reduce dependency on skilled operators, to actually to maximize the efficiency of those operators, and to ultimately provide solutions that can guide the operator, step by step with recipes or other things that increase the overall consistency and quality of the product. And that's the ultimate goal, right? That's where you can unlock maximum value, because this is what will enable you to scale faster and ultimately increase your customer base and retention. So from our experience, what we've seen that bots functioning as assistants rather than autonomous robots have proven to be far more successful, because they are the ones that the operators actually trust and rather than feel threatened by. And finally, it's about customization, right? Just like no two brands make the same exact biryani or pizza, no two kitchens have the same operating protocols. Uh, so it's of paramount importance to be able to customize the solutions so that they seamlessly retrofit and integrate with your existing systems. Uh, and by retrofit, I mean not just retrofit physically on your cooking vessels or your kitchen equipment, but also easily retrofit and integrate seamlessly with your existing software systems, right? So we've developed a suite of devices that are customizable, that seamlessly integrate with third-party applications, POS systems, KDS systems, and we really believe that the future and the way forward is to continue partnering up with SaaS providers, equipment providers, to ultimately provide this dark kitchen and the overall food services industry with more holistic solutions that actually are fit for purpose. And just to quickly conclude, I thought it would be appropriate to share some insights from a real world case. And as I mentioned, from our partnership with Rebel Foods, with whom we've developed an exclusive and custom made fryer attachment that's connected to the cloud. So, step one, we got the problem and design constraints from the Rebel team with very intricate details. So while the problem statement was obviously very clear and straightforward, the challenge in this process was really from a design engineering point of view, right? Because we had to make a device that could seamlessly attach and retrofit on existing fryers in the kitchen. And this is not in one kitchen, it's across a few hundred kitchens. And that too installed by unskilled operators. So we went through the entire product development cycle with the team, from design concept to prototyping, and ultimately field testing it, in rigorous, harsh conditions in the kitchen. And obviously, after multiple iterations, we arrived at a final solution. But I want to stress that through the entire process, utmost importance was always given to ensure the usability of the product, to make it so that it genuinely assisted operators, and there was always a conscious effort to win their trust. We customized the entire firmware. It was developed from scratch. We seamlessly synced it up with the backend ecosystem that Rebel has, and we continuously are working on that so that they have a centralized system to control these devices. And I'm proud to say today that we're successfully manufacturing these at scale, and we have all the necessary processes in place. So I know this was a very quick presentation. I hope it was helpful, and I thank you for your time. I don't know if you have a couple of minutes for just a quick question or two, but we do have a virtual booth here, and please feel free to reach out to us. So thanks.